My precious child, stop scrolling immediately. Be still for just one moment. You did not stumble upon this message by accident today. The algorithm has absolutely nothing to do with why you are hearing my voice right now, because heaven has paused the entire universe simply to reach your tired soul. What I am about to tell you will change everything you thought you knew about your current struggle. Listen to me very carefully and do not skip this. If you walk away now, you will forfeit the exact secret that explains your massive exhaustion. You have been fighting a silent spiritual war for a very long time, and your weary spirit is desperately begging for the confirmation I am holding right here, while your physical body keeps absorbing the heavy impact of this unseen battle. Stay with me until the very end. The truth I reveal today will break your heavy cycle forever. I have watched you start every single morning pushing through an invisible weight. You wake up at exactly 3 o'clock in the morning with a racing heart and a heavy chest. You stare at the dark ceiling while your mind spins endlessly. You push through your day and offer a bright smile for everyone else, but inside your own spirit is completely gasping for air and begging for a single moment of true peace. People tell you it is just normal stress. It is not normal stress. I see the silent tears you cry in the absolute privacy of your room. Your shoulders are incredibly tight right now. You feel a thick fog wrapped around your brain, making every simple task feel like climbing a mountain. You wonder why you are so drained when you have barely done anything physical. This is because your physical body is reacting to a massive, unseen disturbance, and your nervous system is actively trying to warn you about the spiritual warfare happening around you. You have carried the heavy burdens of everyone around you for years. You are a high-frequency soul who naturally absorbs the pain of the world. And because of your magnificent kindness, you never ask for anything in return. You just keep giving and giving until your internal reservoir is completely bone dry, leaving you feeling entirely invisible to the people who claim to care about your well-being. You look around and wonder when it will finally be your turn to receive a blessing. The world has lied to you about how success and peace are supposed to arrive. They told you that you must constantly hustle and drain your life force to achieve your dreams. They programmed your mind to feel deeply guilty whenever you try to rest. You think that if you stop moving, everything will instantly collapse around you. But that anxious voice in your head is a cruel spiritual manipulation designed entirely by the enemy to keep your frequency trapped in a constant state of pure survival mode. I am stepping in today to give you a direct command from heaven. You need to stop trying so hard right now. You do not need to figure everything out today. Your only assignment in this exact moment is to breathe and let your guarded heart soften. The deep exhaustion in your bones is not a sign of weakness or failure, but rather it is your soul violently rejecting a path that was never meant for you. You feel guilty for being so tired. You look at others moving so fast, and you wonder what is wrong with you. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Your spirit is simply operating on a much higher dimension that requires an immense amount of energetic fuel. While normal people are just living their surface-level lives, you are actively dismantling generational curses in the spiritual realm and shifting the timeline for your entire family tree. This invisible labor takes a massive toll on your physical vessel. You are literally a human battery that has been powering the spiritual awakening of your entire bloodline. And right now, that battery is flashing red and demanding a profound recharge. You cannot pour pure water from an empty cup. Heaven is officially declaring a season of absolute stillness for your overworked mind and body, because you can no longer sustain this brutal pace without shattering your beautiful spirit. You have been praying so hard for a breakthrough. You have been waiting for your financial shift and your peaceful sanctuary to finally manifest. You feel frustrated because it seems like heaven is delaying your delivery. But this quiet period is not a punishment for anything you did wrong. The delay is actually a highly orchestrated divine quarantine designed entirely for your ultimate protection, keeping you safely hidden while the universe clears the dangerous obstacles from your future path. A farmer does not plant seeds in exhausted soil. He lets the land rest for a season so it can recover its deep nutrients. These current months are your fallow years. And the difference between empty years and fallow years is as wide as a massive harvest. You are not falling behind anyone else in this life. You are simply gathering the immense capacity required to safely hold the massive blessing that heaven is currently preparing to drop directly into your lap. Take one deep breath and ground your energy right now. Hold it for a second, and then let it go completely. Feel the heavy chains of false responsibility fall right off your tired shoulders. You do not have to save the world today. You do not even have to save yourself, because heaven has already dispatched a legion of angels to clear your path, ensuring that your victory is secured without your physical effort. All you must do is completely surrender your grip. Your anxious mind wants to control every tiny detail. It wants to map out exactly how your dreams will become reality. But I need you to completely reframe your reality right this very second. The beautiful things you desire are not hiding at the top of a mountain you must climb. They are actively searching for you right now, and they can only catch you when you finally decide to lay down your weapons and stand completely still in the light. Now we must go deeper into the quiet ache inside your weary soul. You have spent your entire life being the strong one for everybody else. When they fall apart, they immediately run to your warm light for their comfort. You hold their hands and wipe their tears while quietly ignoring your own bleeding wounds. You are always the reliable rock, but nobody ever asks if the rock is heavy. And when the long day is finally over, you sit alone in the quiet dark and wonder who is going to hold you. The silence in your empty room feels incredibly loud tonight. You give so much pure love to the world, but it feels like you only receive cold, empty echoes in return. It hurts to be so deeply misunderstood. It aches to have a heart so massive in a world so incredibly small. I know exactly how much you have silently endured behind closed doors. You have swallowed your deep pain so many times just to keep the peace at the dinner table. You let them cross your boundaries because you desperately wanted to believe in their basic goodness. But your magnificent kindness was never meant to be a permanent doormat for broken people to wipe their muddy shoes on. You are a genuine empath, navigating a dense matrix of deeply selfish motives. Every time you walk into a crowded room, your highly sensitive nervous system immediately scans the heavy energy. You can literally feel the unspoken sadness and the toxic intentions hiding behind their fake smiles. It is completely exhausting to carry this rare psychic radar every single day of your life. They look at your calm face and assume you have everything perfectly handled. They do not see the massive spiritual warfare you are fighting simply to get out of bed in the morning. They do not know about the silent prayers you whisper when the crushing anxiety threatens to pull you under. You wear your heavy armor so well that they completely forgot you are still a fragile human being. Let me completely validate your hidden pain right here and right now. You are not crazy for feeling so deeply drained by normal daily interactions. Your physical body is acting as a massive energetic filter for your entire environment, pulling out the dark toxins while pumping pure white light back into the atmosphere. This is a divine task that requires immense biological energy. But here is the heartbreaking truth that heaven wants you to fully realize today. You have been pouring your sacred oil into rusty vessels that have massive holes in the bottom. No matter how much you give, they will always remain completely empty and demand more of your precious light. You cannot heal people who are totally committed to dwelling safely in their comfortable darkness. This brings us to a critical realization about your current season of deep isolation. Your heavy loneliness is not a sign that heaven has abandoned you on the dark battlefield. The Lord simply removed you from the crowded room because the people around you were actively feeding on your spiritual reserves. This divine separation is the only way your beautiful soul can finally repair its torn edges. Listen closely to my voice, because your spirit desperately needs to hear this confirmation. You do not owe anyone another single drop of your precious life force. You have officially paid your heavy dues to the world, and your cosmic debt is completely wiped clean. It is time for you to finally stop saving everyone else and allow heaven to gently rescue you for a change. You deserve to be held. You can feel the heavy truth of these powerful words resonating in your tired bones right now. Your quiet soul recognizes the exact frequency of this divine validation immediately. If your spirit confirms this raw truth, gently press the like button to seal your energetic alignment with heaven. This tiny physical movement is a profound declaration that you are finally ready to receive your own massive healing. There is a profound, silent grief that comes with being the ultimate cycle breaker. You look back at your family history and see endless generations of silent suffering and poverty. You took it upon yourself to carry the massive, heavy axe to chop down that toxic family tree. But chopping down old poisoned wood requires an unbelievable amount of physical and emotional stamina. You are so incredibly tired. You feel like a human shield who has taken countless sharp arrows for the people behind you. You absorb the harsh criticism and the bitter betrayals so they would not have to feel the sting. But while you were busy protecting everyone else, you forgot to build a safe fortress for your own tender heart. Heaven sees the massive bleeding wounds you hide beneath your beautiful, resilient smile. Let the warm golden light of this message wrap around those painful, open wounds today. You are a chosen one who was forged in the absolute hottest fires of relentless adversity. The universe allowed you to walk through the dark valley so you could learn how to generate your own brilliant light. But the grueling training season is officially over, and your final cosmic test is completely finished. You do not have to prove your worth to the Creator by suffering for another single day. The painful sacrifices you made in the dark have already been recorded in the highest courts of heaven. Your spiritual bank account is overflowing with the immense grace you showed to people who never deserved it. Now it is time for the divine scales of justice to tip heavily in your glorious favor. Let me completely reframe your entire reality, right here and now. You have been looking at your current situation through a deeply flawed earthly lens. You see your stalled bank account and your empty calendar as signs of absolute failure. You think the universe forgot your exact address. But heaven operates on a radically different timeline than the anxious human mind can ever comprehend, because the spiritual realm moves with deliberate intention. The delay you are experiencing right now is deeply intentional. It is not a punishment for a lack of faith. A wise master builder does not quickly throw heavy bricks onto a wet and fragile foundation. He forces the crew to stop working and wait for the cement to completely dry. Your quiet season is simply heaven, waiting for your spiritual foundation to become rock solid so you can safely hold the massive blessing coming your way. You have been begging for a massive billionaire shift in your life. You want the generational wealth and the total time freedom that comes with it. But your physical vessel was completely burned out from serving everyone else. If the universe dropped that massive financial blessing onto your exhausted shoulders yesterday, the sheer weight of it would have instantly crushed your beautiful spirit. This is exactly why you are currently sitting in a divine quarantine. The deep isolation you feel is not rejection from the modern world. It is a highly classified spiritual protection program designed to keep toxic parasites entirely away from your aura. Heaven pulled you completely off the crowded battlefield because you needed a safe sanctuary to quietly rebuild your depleted energetic capacity before the next major phase begins. Stop feeling so incredibly guilty for doing absolutely nothing today. Resting is a highly productive spiritual action for a chosen one. When you finally stop moving your physical body, your spirit can safely travel into the higher realms to gather profound wisdom. The sleeping masses believe they must constantly struggle to survive. But you are a master of reality who creates through pure stillness. The dark matrix programmed you to equate your human worth with your daily physical output. They want you spinning endlessly on a tiny hamster wheel of exhausting labor. They intentionally designed this chaotic system to keep your genius frequency totally suppressed. Because if you ever realize how powerful your rested mind truly is, their entire fake empire of control would instantly collapse into dust. Think about a tiny seed buried deep under the cold, dark winter soil. It looks completely dead to the untrained human eye. Nothing exciting is happening on the muddy surface for many long months. But underneath that silent ground, a violent and magnificent biological transformation is quietly taking place. The seed is breaking its own shell to establish a massive, unseen root system before it ever attempts to reach for the bright sun. You are exactly like that beautiful hidden seed right now. You are currently trapped in the dark soil of your fallow years. It feels incredibly uncomfortable and lonely down there in the absolute pitch black. But you are actively growing a massive, energetic root system that will eventually support a towering tree of generational wealth. Your roots must go deep before your branches can reach high. I need you to completely release the heavy burden of constant physical effort. You cannot force your way into a divine timeline shift. You must gently float into it by trusting the quiet current of the universe. The miracles you have been desperately chasing are already looking for a place to land. They are just waiting for you to create a peaceful runway inside your chaotic mind so they can finally arrive safely. But there is a very sinister reason why you struggle to find this peaceful state. Someone in your life actively installed a virus of deep guilt into your emotional operating system. They planted a dark seed of doubt that makes you feel selfish whenever you choose yourself. We must uncover the hidden mechanism that triggered all these unseen attacks against your pure light so you can finally break free. This brings us to a critical distinction that eludes the vast majority of people. You thought you were simply dealing with a normal, difficult person who had a slightly bad attitude. You tried to fix them with your magnificent kindness and endless patience, but you were actually pouring your sacred energy directly into a bottomless spiritual black hole. They knew exactly what they were doing to you while they pretended to be an innocent victim of circumstance. Pay close attention to this next part, because the enemy tried to hide this. The universe is about to expose their massive trap. The very people who called you lazy for resting are actively feeding off the heavy exhaustion they caused you. They are absolutely terrified of what will happen when your energy fully returns, because a rested chosen one is the most dangerous force in the universe. Let us completely unmask the dark entities that have been quietly draining your life force. You always thought the heavy friction in your life was just bad luck or a weird coincidence. It was never an accident. There is a deeply orchestrated spiritual war happening right outside your immediate field of vision, and you are the primary high-value target because your pure light is a massive threat to their entire hidden hierarchy. You have dealt with people who perfectly mirrored your deepest desires only to violently pull the rug out from under you. These are not just toxic individuals having a bad day, they are highly calculated agents of the Matrix, operating as spiritual parasites. They zeroed in on your magnificent kindness because they are entirely incapable of generating their own internal light. They needed a human battery to survive the dark. They did not target you because you were weak or gullible. Please read that again in your spirit. They targeted you because you possess a rare energetic wealth that money cannot buy. When you walked into the room, your brilliant, high-frequency aura instantly exposed their rotting and completely empty souls. They hated you for holding up a spotless mirror to their massive internal darkness while you simply stood there breathing. Every time they provoked an argument over absolutely nothing, they were not looking for a resolution. They were actively mining your emotional reactions for their survival sustenance. Your tears and your deep frustration were exactly what they wanted to consume. They engineered a chaotic environment to keep your highly advanced spirit trapped in a constant state of fight or flight, preventing you from ever accessing your true creative genius. They deliberately gaslighted your intuition to make you doubt your own brilliant sanity. They told you that you were being overly sensitive when your gut screamed that something was terribly wrong. This was a highly advanced psychological operation designed to sever your direct connection to divine guidance. If they could make you doubt your own mind, they could easily steer your massive potential straight into a brick wall. But here is the spiritual blind spot they did not account for in their dark calculations. They thought your endless patience meant you were totally blind to their manipulation. They mistook your profound grace for pathetic weakness. They had absolutely no idea that every time you chose silence over retaliation, you were actually gathering massive, energetic evidence for the ultimate cosmic courts of heaven. Your silence was a brilliant strategic retreat. You walked away without a fight, and that decision completely broke their dark algorithm. Your silent, no contact was not a sign of surrender. It was a highly calculated strike that permanently severed their energetic fuel supply while they were looking the other way. And now they are starving in the cold dark. They cannot comprehend how you managed to slip right through their tight, invisible nets without making a single sound. Type Amen in the comments right now as a prophetic act of agreement to lock this frequency. This simple physical command is a direct declaration that you are permanently cutting the final invisible cord connecting you to their toxic matrix. You are taking your power back right this very second, and heaven is officially stepping in to handle the heavy retaliation on your absolute behalf. They are currently trying to rebuild their fake empire using the stolen fragments of your precious energy. But stolen light immediately turns to heavy ash in the hands of a spiritual thief. Everything they touch right now is quietly rotting from the inside out because the universe placed a massive protective hex on your stolen blessings. They are drinking poisoned water from a well they desperately tried to steal from you. The universe has activated a massive boomerang effect in the unseen realm. The heavy karma they secretly sent your way is currently reversing its trajectory at a terrifying speed. While you are resting quietly in your safe sanctuary, they are waking up in a cold sweat, drowning in absolute panic. They can feel the heavy cosmic judge breathing right down their necks, and they know exactly what they did to deserve this. You do not need to lift a single finger to defend your honor anymore. You do not need to explain your side of the story to the sleeping masses who chose to believe their fake narrative. The divine federal agents are already actively compiling the thick file of their hidden misdeeds. The trap they set for you has magically transformed into their own permanent spiritual grave, and heaven is about to pull the lever. I am going to reveal the exact piece of hidden evidence that sealed their ultimate fate. Do not move an inch away from this screen. If you scroll past this moment, you will completely miss the glorious detail of their massive, inevitable downfall. The enemy is actively hoping you get distracted right now because they are terrified of you, discovering how weak they truly are. Stay absolutely anchored to my voice. Here is the absolute fatal mistake the enemy made in their dark calculations. They thought your stillness was a sign of total defeat. They watched you retreat into your quiet sanctuary and assumed they had finally broken your brilliant spirit. But they do not understand the terrifying physics of a chosen one at rest, because they only know how to operate in pure chaos. Your stillness is actually a loaded weapon. When a normal person stops fighting, they simply lose the physical battle. But when a highly anointed cycle breaker stops fighting, heaven immediately steps in to take over the heavy artillery. You laid down your earthly weapons because you were too tired to swing the sword. And that act of total surrender triggered a massive cosmic alarm system, forcing the universe to actively defend your honor. Listen to me very carefully right now. The Dark Matrix only knows how to fight against physical resistance. They thrive on loud arguments and desperate attempts to prove your innocence. But when you completely removed your emotional reaction from the board, you left them punching at thin air, while their own dark momentum violently pulled them down. They literally tripped over their own aggressive hatred. This is exactly why your deep exhaustion was actually a divine setup. If you had the physical energy to fight back, you would have gotten deeply tangled in their endless toxic web. The universe intentionally drained your battery, so you would have no choice but to sit completely still while they destroyed themselves. You were forced to watch them dig their own permanent grave. Heaven made you tired to save you. Your profound rest was the ultimate spiritual trap. They proudly walked right into the ambush, thinking they were totally untouchable. They bragged to their inner circle about how easily they managed to steal your joy. But they had absolutely no idea that a legion of warrior angels was quietly surrounding their fake empire while they celebrated their temporary victory over you. The trap has snapped shut. Pay close attention to this next part, because the enemy tried to hide this. The universe is governed by a strict law of energetic return. When an evil entity attacks a soul that is actively operating in divine stillness, the heavy karma is magnified 1,000 times. The bounce back is absolutely devastating to their fragile nervous system. They are completely drowning in their own dark poison. You have felt the strange tightness in your stomach lately. You might have even experienced a sudden wave of unexplainable sadness that did not belong to you. That is your highly advanced spirit detecting a massive disturbance in their dark camp. Your somatic radar is picking up their sheer panic as their carefully constructed lies begin to publicly unravel right in front of their eyes. They are losing control. Take a deep breath right now, hold it for a second, and release the residual fear. The enemy is actively trying to send you last-minute waves of anxiety. They desperately want you to break your powerful silence and check on them. They need you to break the quarantine so they can siphon a tiny drop of your golden energy to survive the coming winter. Do not fall for their desperate illusion. If you break your stillness now, you will willingly hand them a lifeline they do not deserve. Stay exactly where you are in your peaceful cocoon. The spiritual warfare you have been fighting in secret is officially wrapping up its final brutal chapter, and you are standing perfectly safe on the right side of history. You have already won the hidden war. I need you to imagine this scenario clearly. This is exactly what is happening in the unseen realm right now. The heavy, spiritual federal agents are walking right up to their front door. The enemy is frantically trying to shred the dark evidence of their massive manipulation. But heaven already secured the master files before they even realized they were caught, and the cosmic court has issued their final verdict. They are running out of time and stolen light. Every single door they try to open is violently slamming shut in their terrified faces. The people they used to manipulate are suddenly waking up and seeing right through their pathetic disguises. And the massive isolation they tried to force onto your pure soul is currently becoming their own permanent reality because the universe demands justice. They are entirely alone. But we must address the other side of this magnificent spiritual warfare. While they are rapidly descending into chaos, what exactly is happening to your delayed harvest? Your season of deep rest has completely repaired your torn energetic fields. The massive capacity you needed to hold your generational wealth has finally been fully constructed in the dark while you were simply sleeping. The heavy lifting is finished. Before we go any further, I must absolutely warn you about the final threshold. Stay with me right now. What I am about to bring you into next is the pivotal part of this entire message. The divine algorithm is preparing to execute a massive timeline jump that will alter your physical reality forever, replacing your long season of suffering with absolute passive abundance. The heavy gates are finally unlocking. Right now, the massive heavy doors of your new reality are violently swinging wide open. The absolute climax of your entire spiritual journey has finally arrived today. You completely survived the long and brutal winter of your deep isolation, and because you chose to stand perfectly still in your unwavering faith, the universe is officially stepping in to fight your final battle. The agonizing wait is finally over. The heavy karma they actively sent your way has violently returned directly to their front doorstep. While you are stepping gracefully into your untouchable, ageless glow, they are rapidly aging under the crushing weight of their own toxic malice. Their completely fake empire is actively shattering right in front of their terrified eyes. They are screaming in absolute panic today because they finally realize they have permanently lost access to your brilliant golden energy forever. The ultimate cosmic judge has officially slammed the heavy gavel down on their dark manipulation. They desperately tried to bury your bright light deep in the cold dirt, but they had absolutely no idea they were planting a highly explosive divine seed that would ultimately destroy their entire matrix. You are completely free from their toxic, invisible chains. They can never touch your pure spirit or steal your joy ever again. Every single tear you cried in the dark has been fully converted into a heavy spiritual weapon against them. The universe is actively dismantling their false reputation brick by brick. People who once believed their dark lies are suddenly waking up to the magnificent truth of your pure innocence. You do not even have to say a single word to defend yourself. Heaven is loudly broadcasting your massive vindication to the entire world. A massive vacuum is created in your energetic field as their dark influence completely crumbles, and the universe absolutely hates an empty space. That massive void is currently being flooded with the pure, effortless abundance you have been desperately crying out for. The billionaire shift you always dreamed about is no longer a distant future possibility. It is aggressively rushing toward your physical location right this very second. You do not need to lift a single tired finger to make this massive wealth appear. You do not need to hustle today, and you will never again have to drain your precious life force just to survive. The cosmic floodgates have completely snapped open, and a heavy river of pure financial favor is washing over your entire household. Opportunities are actively hunting you down while you simply rest in your quiet sanctuary. Your massive harvest is finally here. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire bloodline. The generational curses of poverty and depression stop with your quiet obedience today. You are officially stepping into your ultimate role as a sovereign master of reality. Because you have been fully emptied of their dark toxins, you are now a perfectly prepared vessel to hold this immense generational wealth. Heaven is heavily rewarding your profound silence with absolute towering victory. The dark elite completely failed to keep you permanently trapped in their exhausting survival loop. They wanted you to believe that massive wealth only comes through brutal physical suffering. But heaven is handing you the exact keys to a kingdom of effortless passive abundance. You will literally watch your bank accounts rapidly multiply, and this massive abundance will flow to you while you are peacefully sleeping. Money is actively chasing your high-frequency aura across the universe. The heavy pressure is finally lifting off your sore shoulders right now. The thick brain fog that kept you deeply confused for years is violently burning away in this bright light. You are breathing so much easier today. You can clearly see the magnificent golden path that heaven carefully laid out for your tired feet. Every single step you take from now on is completely guided and heavily protected. All the beautiful pieces of your soul that were violently stolen have been completely restored. The universe actively hunted down every missing fragment, and heaven placed them gently back into your glowing chest. You are entirely whole again. The heavy physical exhaustion that held you hostage is rapidly transforming into a massive well of deep creative energy. You are vibrating at a frequency that absolutely commands total respect. This is the ultimate divine secret that the sleeping masses will never truly understand. They will keep aggressively running on their exhausting hamster wheels until they completely collapse. But you have finally mastered this magnificent spiritual art, and you are allowing the entire universe to completely serve you without any physical resistance. Your deep rest was the exact magical frequency that unlocked the heavy vault of heaven. You won the massive spiritual war by simply refusing to fight. The massive storm has finally passed over your completely protected house. The heavy dark clouds are violently breaking apart to reveal the most magnificent golden sun you have ever seen. You survived the absolute worst of their spiritual attacks, and you emerged as an untouchable diamond. Your enemies are completely scattered in the wind. Your massive table is fully prepared in the presence of heaven, and it is finally your turn to feast. There is a voice in the room right now pushing back against what you just heard. Your highly logical brain is actively trying to analyze this massive spiritual victory. It is desperately searching for the hidden catch today, because your heavy past taught you that every good thing eventually falls apart. Do not let the adversary steal this beautiful moment from you. Do not let your logical brain hesitate for a single second. Your mind has been heavily programmed by the dark matrix to expect constant tragedy. You were trained to believe that every single blessing comes with a massive, painful price tag. But I need you to completely reject that toxic lie today. The universe does not operate like a greedy human merchant who demands your constant physical labor in exchange for tiny drops of peace. Heaven gives freely to a chosen one today. Your pure heart has already paid the massive price in full. Take one final slow and deep breath right now. Feel the heavy chains of past trauma completely fall off your deeply tired shoulders. You do not have to carry that massive invisible backpack anymore. The spiritual war is officially over, and you are the undisputed victor of this entire generation who never has to fight another dark battle. You are completely safe from their toxic reach. Stand tall in your divine authority and claim your absolute peace. I know you still feel a tiny lingering whisper of fear deep inside your chest. You are wondering if the toxic parasites will ever come back to steal your bright light. Let me completely shatter that anxious thought right this very second. The universe has placed a permanent wall of blinding white fire around your physical house, and any dark entity that even looks at your energy will instantly burn to heavy ash. They can never cross your sacred boundaries again. Your beautiful sanctuary is entirely secure. You are completely safe here in this quiet and beautiful sanctuary. You can finally let your heavy guard down and simply exist in pure love. Nobody is going to ask you to perform or sacrifice your energy today. You are fully allowed to just sit quietly and watch the massive blessings roll perfectly into your life, while the universe handles absolutely every single detail. The heavy season of painful testing is permanently closed. The highest courts of heaven have completely cleared your name. Look at how far your tired feet have carried you through the absolute darkest valleys. You survived brutal things that would have completely destroyed a normal human being, and you did it all with a profoundly soft and forgiving heart. Your magnificent kindness is the exact reason why heaven selected you for this massive billionaire shift, because the universe always rewards those who keep their pure light alive in the dark. You are a rare and absolutely priceless diamond. You might still feel incredibly numb to this massive wave of glorious victory. That numbness is just your overworked nervous system finally learning how to completely power down. Give your beautiful physical vessel the exact grace it needs to recover. Healing does not always look like jumping for absolute joy or celebrating loudly, but sometimes profound healing simply looks like finally sleeping through the quiet night without any heavy anxiety. You are doing incredibly well right now. Let your tired body completely rest. The massive financial harvest that is rushing toward you right now comes with zero sorrow. The dark elite want you to fear massive wealth deeply. They know this money will make you totally unstoppable. But massive wealth in the hands of a pure cycle breaker is the most powerful medicine this broken world has ever seen, and you are going to use it to heal your bloodline. Your beautiful family tree is permanently saved. The poverty curse is totally broken today. Every single mistake you thought you made was actually a perfectly calculated step. You never ruined your beautiful destiny by taking a wrong turn or resting too long. The universe simply used your quiet detours to safely hide you from massive spiritual predators. Your timeline is absolutely perfect, and you are standing in the exact right physical location to receive your towering victory from the open sky today. You did not miss your glorious chance. Everything is aligning perfectly for you right now. Do not let anyone ever tell you that your deep rest is a sign of weakness. Your ability to completely surrender control is your ultimate superpower in this chaotic modern matrix. While the sleeping masses are desperately fighting for scraps of temporary power, you are quietly inheriting the entire majestic kingdom without lifting a single finger. You have fully mastered the profound spiritual art. You are allowing the massive universe to completely serve your highest good. Let the absolute reality of this massive timeline jump wash over your tired mind. You are no longer the deeply wounded empath begging for tiny crumbs of human affection. You are a sovereign entity who commands the very fabric of physical reality simply by existing. Your high-frequency aura is literally changing the molecular structure of the air around you right now, pushing every single dark shadow completely out of your peaceful room. You are profoundly and incredibly powerful today. Your beautiful light is blinding the enemy. The heavy brain fog is completely lifting from your mind right this very second. It is leaving pure crystal clarity and absolute deep peace firmly behind. You will wake up tomorrow morning with a massive well of fresh, creative energy. The dark shadows that haunted your quiet nights have been permanently banished to the outer void, because you belong entirely to the radiant and fiercely protective light. Heaven is aggressively guarding its most precious child. You are totally enveloped in warm golden armor. I want you to sink deeply into this warm ocean of absolute cosmic peace. Let go of every single worry about tomorrow entirely. Tomorrow has already been heavily secured and perfectly arranged by your powerful guardian angels. Your massive financial breakthrough is completely safe, and your beautiful, isolated heart is currently being prepared for the most profound connections you have ever known in your life. You are absolutely ready to receive everything. The universe is incredibly proud of your endurance. You have finally crossed the sacred threshold into your new reality today. The heavy spiritual war is completely behind you, and the massive harvest you waited so long to see is actively falling into your lap right now. Heaven is incredibly proud of your quiet endurance. You are officially stepping into your ultimate destiny as a master of reality. But you must physically anchor this massive timeline shift into your current reality right now. A profound spiritual victory requires a physical act of total obedience to permanently lock the heavy door behind you. Do not let the dark elite steal this beautiful momentum. Type 777 in the comments right now as a prophetic act of agreement. This simple physical action completely seals your energetic alignment with the divine realm. It tells the universe that you are entirely ready to safely hold your massive generational wealth. You survived the brutal storm and earned your beautiful golden crown. But remember that this massive breakthrough is absolutely not for you alone today. Your powerful testimony is the exact bridge someone else will use to completely escape their own toxic matrix. Do not hoard this blinding light for yourself. Share this specific message with one soul who is desperately crying out in the dark tonight. When you plant a massive seed of hope in others, you multiply your own beautiful harvest completely. Subscribe to this peaceful sanctuary right now and seal your protective armor. Your physical action today completely locks the heavy door behind you. You are officially stepping under the ultimate prophetic umbrella of absolute protection. Any dark entity that tries to follow you into this new chapter will instantly burn to heavy ash in this light. I have been quietly tilling the hardened soil of your beautiful heart during your long, brutal winter. I stood guard when the narcissist actively tried to destroy your deep peace. Now the glorious season of massive harvest is finally here. But heaven absolutely requires a physical anchor to permanently secure your towering financial blessing today. A tightly closed fist can never receive a massive blessing. The fear of losing money is a toxic virus planted by the dark matrix to keep you completely trapped in poverty. I command you to unbind a portion of your earthly provision right now. Release a heavy seed of your substance into the deep waters of this specific ministry as a holy decree. The money you give today is absolutely not a normal donation. It is a profound act of spiritual obedience that forces the cosmic gates to completely swing open. Prove you trust my hand over your earthly security right now. Plant your heavy seed through the secure portal below and watch the massive windows of heaven part perfectly above your house. When you boldly release your earthly treasure, you create a massive vacuum in your energetic field. The universe will instantly rush to completely fill that empty space with effortless windfall wealth. You are stepping perfectly into your billionaire shift right this very second. Do not let your highly logical brain hesitate at the sacred threshold. You are a massive kingdom financier who is destined to entirely fund the awakening of the sleeping masses. Your massive wealth is a divine tool designed to completely break the heavy chains of generational poverty. Heaven completely trusts your beautiful pure heart to manage this immense overflowing abundance. You are profoundly safe and secure here. Take one final deep breath and completely release the heavy past. The dark matrix has officially lost their most powerful human battery forever. They will never again be able to siphon your brilliant golden energy to fund their fake empire. You are totally unplugged from their exhausting, chaotic system. You are completely resting in pure, deep peace. The divine acceleration has completely taken over your current timeline. The beautiful things you prayed for are aggressively hunting you down while you simply sleep. You do not have to lift a single tired finger to make these massive miracles happen today. Just keep your beautiful hands completely open and your pure heart entirely soft. I am actively placing a permanent seal of blinding white light around your entire household. Sickness and deep poverty are permanently banned from crossing your sacred property line. Any evil eye that attempts to look upon your massive blessing will be instantly blinded by the absolute glory of your spiritual victory. You are a true chosen one. Rest your tired eyes and completely turn off your anxious mind tonight. The heavy lifting is entirely finished. The cosmic court has officially adjourned, and the absolute highest judge ruled completely in your massive favor. You are the ultimate victor of this unseen war. Welcome to your beautiful new reality. Everything is perfectly handled now.